Perhaps our baseball insider, Steve Phillips, can make some sense of this. The Jays booed off the field Wednesday, Steve. They're booed off the field on Thursday. And look, they're only a game and a half back of the Mariners for that final wildcard spot. So it's not like they're out of it. But how devastating was this week overall for this baseball team, Steve?
Well, it was devastating. Obviously, they got their butts handed to them. Reality is, outscored 35-9. They got pummeled by the Texas Rangers. And it's a Rangers team that, remember, just over a week ago, they had gone 4-16 in a 20-game span. They got swept by the Astros, and everybody in Texas was saying the series against the Astros was the biggest series of the season for them. Then this one became that for them as well because they got swept by the Astros. And so, this was a team that looked like they weren't going to win another game. They looked like they were in a free fall, and now they look healthy. They took 2 out of 3 from Oakland. They come into Toronto. They sweep the series in a dominating fashion, and now they've got their momentum going. The bats are swinging. They're getting it done, pitching well enough, and it was a Blue Jays lineup that just didn't show up.
And, the whole series kind of encapsulated in Vladdy Guerrero's night on Thursday, Steve. He hits a home run at one point, and then with 2 on in the 7th inning, and you really need him to come up with a clutch hit, he doesn't come through. What needs to happen with this team, Steve, offensively to get them back on track?
Yeah, I think really what they have to understand is in order to show that you can hit, you have to take. That you don't swing at the first strike that you think is going to be a good strike because it may not be the best one you're going to see during the course of the at-bat. But they let the pitchers get ahead. They chase out of the zone. They become over-aggressive, and this is about trying too hard. It's about caring too much. I know it looks like they don't care. They care. They're dying inside, and they're actually over-trying. When hitters expand the strike zone, it's because they're trying to do too much. The key is you have to swing at strikes, and you have to be able to take pitches in order to get to a good hitter's count to deliver, and they're not letting themselves get there. So the reality is to hit better, they have to take more.
So you got the Red Sox coming up, Steve. Where does this team go from here? Where do you go from here if you're the Blue Jays?
Well, you have to regroup. I mean, the reality is that sure, you can't say this was the biggest series of the season. Well, all right, you got swept. So now what? You're a game and a half out. You've got a chance still to be a playoff team. You've got to go out there. You've not fared very well against the American League East all season long. You're 12-25 against AL East teams. So you've got to start showing up. They handled the Red Sox pretty well the last time. They've got to get some momentum going again. They have to put this behind them. You have to have a short memory, be ready to go get the Red Sox. They got beaten up a little bit from the Yankees, too. And so this is a Red Sox team that's vulnerable. They just fired their chief baseball officer. It's not been a good year for them. The Jays need to come out and be aggressive. John Snyder needs to push it right out of the gate, get runners moving, and try to score first and early.
You said it, Steve. They have struggled against the AL East this season. They'll need to turn that around if they're going to salvage their season. This is Steve Phillips. He is our baseball insider.